All of Holiday and the employees are going to federal prison. Okay, it is again what is 4:55 a.m. You're going to look at all the videos that I captured, the entity monitoring on my phone, not a malfunction, and I'm not pressing pause or stop. You're going to look at all of them together as I'm going through an ongoing consistent analysis exposing demon possession as the state of California demonstrated it, CAL FIRE. It's also legally relevant for the prosecution of federal group stalking and monitoring, facilitation of federal group stalking and monitoring, federal stalking under Title 18, Section 2261A, subsections 1 and 2. It's also legally relevant with regard to posing an impermissible threat after the point where an American citizen has begun documenting the pattern of conduct that a government conspiring to murder and kidnap them is criminally surveilling them through the state, which is what CAL FIRE represents, and the people of the state, which is what the demons who are the people of the state, including employees like the Holiday Inn employees, using things such as a smoke alarm to maintain the elements of monitoring while they're doing so with the demons that are all around the property where they're group stalking with the rest of them, where the fake sun is rising and setting. Everybody around is group stalking that American citizen as well. The entity is engaging in what is a legally relevant and impermissible threat at the point at which it is surveilling the documentation of its criminal activity, which again, CAL FIRE is fully engaged in. That's the malice and the impunity that is intolerable, and it will be directly addressed with regard to the enhancement to federal charges and punishment. The entity is engaged in what is corporate invasion of privacy. The entity is engaged in what is a molestation, an ongoing perpetual sex offense, not only by monitoring an American citizen in a private space, but also by molesting the person. This is a molestation. It's not naturally happen. It's not. This is an unlawful touching with engineered light for your criminal purposes of group stalking. You're going to be prosecuted as a sex offense for an ongoing molestation of directed light where demons are group stalking you. And that's not only the state, that's also the people of the state. And Holiday Inn in particular is going to be subject to a very specific civil suit with regard to recovery for the terrorism, the sexual violence, the corporate invasion of privacy, the criminal facilitation, as I'm speaking to federal charges. CAL FIRE is also, this is also relevant to RICO charges that the corrupt department is engaging in and masquerading as a legitimate fire department when they're engaged in domestic terrorism. And these are the same demons who are engaged in this criminal conduct, who are exhibiting demon possession, who are engaging in criminal conduct as I'm capturing this video. This is criminal. This is surveillance. This is how an entity that's stalking in the sky space, that's stalking with the population, that's engaging in federal stalking online, that's surveillance online, maintains the elements while they're group stalking in the parking lot. This walking around in the engineer light accomplishes the elements of monitoring. Okay, the entity is doing so in concert with the people who are using things such as the smoke alarm in this building where there's no fire and there is no smoke. Neither was there any smoke or fire during the hailstorm, which I documented on podcasts. I want to make sure that you're understanding this because this is exactly how the state, which is what CAL FIRE represents, is going to be prosecuted. CAL FIRE is not acting by themselves. The state group stalks with the people of the state. CAL FIRE is exhibiting nothing other than demon possession and the ways in which the government itself, which government actors such as CAL FIRE demonstrate, how they group stalk with the people of the state who also don't have any lawful right whatsoever to engage in what is keeping an American citizen under surveillance. They do so by group stalking with methods of light activity. That's what this is. All right. And driving in the parking lot will never create any flashing of light inside of my hotel room. And during the day, when you can see the fake sun through the windshields of vehicles that are group stalking in the same manner, that's how they're engaging in light activity, group stalking. It's occurring at nightfall. That's that is demonic pacing while a vehicle drives on the street, and the demon remains in alignment driving out the driveway. And this is light activity. Demons engaging in a method of light activity creation in the engineered environment. Okay, all while you see the light activity inside of my hotel room. Okay, this is exposing for the world, recognizing what is demonic, what the demonic looks like, and it doesn't matter that they happen to be a part of any agency which the entity is assuming you're going to dismiss or disregard because they happen to be a part of the government. So that's totally irrelevant with regard to demon possession. Secondly, the state of California is literally going to be prosecuted for this criminal conduct that CAL FIRE is engaging in on behalf of the whole state. All right, and it is a sex offense. It is 4:59 a.m. This is P.O.C. I want you to again see. That's called stalking with activity. All right, this is the light activity that's occurring on one side, and here it is on the opposite side. All right, and CAL FIRE is group stalking and monitoring while the elements using a smoke alarm inside of this venue where you're looking at the impossible light activity. There's only one window, and you're seeing the window repeatedly appearing on all of the walls into the back of the hotel room, which is an impossible occurrence. It's not, in other words, it's not really, okay? This is my shadow at the very back of the hotel, okay? That's impossible to use alarm, which it started doing as I began capturing evidence against the people of the state, showing the fake sun over the SoFi Stadium when I am every day showing the fake sun over this hotel from rise until set in alignment with me. That's not over the SoFi Stadium. There's only one sun, not 14. All right. And the entity is keeping a fake sun over this hotel where the entity is now at nightfall as a means of also stalking with activity while federal stalking is underway and a bunch of demons are pacing all around at the 76, at the Motel 6 parking lot, group stalking in the parking lot using a flashlight, using a headlight. That's what this demon is doing on the opposite side of the brick wall. And these are demons that are group stalking. They're engaging congregating. All right, they're engaging congregating with light activity, moving around as they engage in demonic pacing while the entity uses the smoke alarm. As I begin, again, stalking with activity, as I engage in new movement, looking this way, that's how you're recognizing the demonic behaviors in the specific environment, which is demonic. They're group stalking. They're a bunch of demons. And CAL FIRE demonstrated it themselves in the video that I captured yesterday evening. And they did so with knowledge anticipating my arrival. All right, and you know all of this through the specific environment. The knowledge that the demons maintain while they're group stalking you. They're group stalking someone that happens to be prosecuting them. So I'm giving you a tutorial about the demon-possessed mind state and the criminal intent behind what they do as they do it and all that they reasonably know and understand as they do it. And every decision that they make is relevant to additional federal charges. And CAL FIRE is not helping Holiday Inn. They're going to federal prison while they're group stalking with the state. They're going to be subject to civil damages while they're group stalking with the state. And CAL FIRE themselves, you're talking about going to federal prison themselves. All right, look at the shadow behind and the shadow on the truck. That has nothing to do with the street lamp. Okay. In fact, under the street lamp, a shadow would be appearing on the ground, only to the side along the truck, not the one that's appearing behind it. And walking toward the door and walking back behind is demonic pacing. That's a demon. All right. And they're group stalking. This is revealing the mind state. Only a psychopath engaged in this sort of conduct where you're not supposed to be aware of the fact that they're targeting you through their conduct, through their activity, what they're engaging in. You're not supposed to be aware, for example, of a fake sun that's over you when you're looking at somebody just walking up to a vehicle and then walking back around. That's demonic pacing. One person can accomplish that by walking back and forth. A group of demons accomplish it by walking all around like a bunch of cockroaches in the engineer light, and they're together pacing. This is what the entity does in helicopters in the sky space under a fake sun. This is what the people of the state are doing on the freeway. It's not traffic. It's demons who are pacing while the fake sun remains over me. And what you're seeing at nightfall, engineer light is surrounding, using the smoke alarm, stalking with activity. All right, I want to repeat it again because this is what the entity is engaging in. And this is enriching and educational material with regard to the prosecution for the satanic system that CAL FIRE, which represents the state of California. Okay, every terrorist organization, they're masquerading as police departments, they're masquerading as fire departments, they're masquerading as EMTs that are operating ambulances who are connected to hospitals where demons, sex offenders, psychopaths are affiliated with hospitals. And this is putting American citizens' lives at risk. They serve Satan. This is demonic. And it's criminal. It's criminal at that. And this is what Satan does not want you to know is underway. Satan does not want you to know who his servants are. And I want to be clear, it includes CAL FIRE. Up to and including Joe Tyler, okay, over the California Forestry and Fire Protection, the director, fire chief, that demon's name, that is a demon is synonymous with defendant, synonymous with what is group stalker, synonymous with what is a criminal, a malicious one. The state of California is filled with demons and this pattern of conduct that it is impossible to emulate and mirror accidentally or coincidentally. All right, that is the demonic behavioral pattern in the demonic environment. That's a pattern of conduct that Joe Tyler engaged in. All right, this is exposing what is another corrupt government actor to be removed from the position that they hold. It is a threat to the public while they maintain that dangerous and corrupt position of leadership where demons under his tutelage, under his leadership are engaging in state surveillance. The public, which is what Holiday Inn represents, who has no constitutional rights whatsoever to engage in criminal surveillance. That's what this light activity shows. This light activity shows criminal surveillance. Remember, it's not just the light activity that's present. It's the demonic behavioral patterns of the employees and the demons who are the people of the state, both at the hotel, working at the hotel, and surrounding the hotel. That's the intent to engage in the demonic system. You're not ignorantly engaging in the pattern of conduct. And the latter, as I'm showing you, all the heights of hypocrisy, exposing those who are in service to Satan. And that is including Joe Tyler, okay? It is currently, again, 4 5:05, where the entity is just intermittently sounding the alarm, which is a means of elements of monitoring. And it began as I captured video on television where the entity is showing the fake sun over the SoFi Stadium. And that doesn't coexist with what is at the same time remaining over the Holiday Inn at 9750 Key Point. It doesn't coexist. There's only one sun. And that one sun, while it's over my head and in alignment to me in Hesperia at this hotel, even in alignment with my window, and during the day showing the same exact light activity, the panels of the window through the depths of this hotel, both early in the morning until the afternoon into the evening, there's no sun over the SoFi Stadium. That's a light source. And also the entity, while it was hot, the entity had a rapid and a rapidly disappearing hailstorm at the same time that I was publishing video evidence online. And the reason why I'm repeating that again is because the entity is monitoring on my phone, going to look at all the series of videos that I captured together. This is the prosecution while the entity is misusing the alarm for the elements of monitoring. All right, and this is nothing other than what is loitering in relevant position. CAL FIRE is not free to be at a crime scene to engage in state surveillance because this is what it is. They're not free as the state because that's what they represent. And they're also not free as the people of the state, which is what Holiday Inn. That's why they're going to federal prison, because none of them are free to engage in the elements of monitoring. This is criminal conduct. And as they misuse an alarm system to engage in the elements of monitoring, that's also terrorism, while demons engage in the elements of monitoring with knee-jerk reactions based on what I do as I do it. The elements of monitoring are underway, meaning a demon will arrive out of nowhere. That's relevant positioning, a method of light activity, audible activity occurring with simultaneity. That's demonic activity. The entity accomplished this by using the smoke alarm the moment that I began capturing video of the fake sun over the SoFi Stadium as reported by the people of the state on the news. Okay, it is currently, again, 5:06 a.m. This is POC.